everybody, Wildman Wes here, and welcome to the Worst State of Movies, where we look at 50 movies from the United States that are considered the worst of the worst, and after looking upon them, I decide whether or not they are worthy of the title of being the worst movie made in that state. Let's see where we go next. Today we are traveling to North Dakota. And for today's movie review, I am going to preface this. Science fiction has always had its hit or misses. E.T., Lilo and Stitch, Flight of the Navigator, even Mac and Me. But today's movie definitely gets a lot of flack, and that is 2016's Monster Trucks. When I first saw the title of this movie, I automatically thought, oh man, is this a ripoff of Maximum Overdrive? I was very gladly proved otherwise, for the most part. This movie is about a oil company known as Terravex that is drilling for oil, and they hit a rough patch in the ground, and they find subterranean aliens living underneath that come up to the surface and run amok. Not because that they're angry or they're violent, they're just wondering what's going on. The beings start to get contained. Meanwhile, we move onto the other side of the area of North Dakota where a young boy named Trip is living with his mom that waitresses and her boyfriend that is a police officer in town who's a bit of a germaphobe. He finds himself dreaming of a way to get out of town one day, but there's only one problem. He doesn't have a car. He's got a license, but no car. That tends to be a situation for anybody within the United States and all over the world, but I digress. Trip works at a junkyard with a owner that's a paraplegic known as Mr. Weathers, who has been wanting to find parts to help Trip build his own vehicle. That way he can drive around and get from place to place. While Trip is cleaning up the junkyard one night, he notices some odd behaviors, and he comes across one of the beings that got away from the Terravex people. He realizes that these beings are needing sustenance, and the big thing that they look for is oil. Gasoline. Wow, this is a little bit more like Maximum Overdrive than I thought. But it's time to get back on track. While he is finding this being within the junkyard, drinking down gasoline and oil wherever it can find it, he has this tutor at school named Meredith who is a little bit upset that he's not been participating in the tutoring, and she goes to talk with him. And then Terravex people and bounty hunters come by to try to find out the missing being, and they take the being and they go hide somewhere, and they try to find Trip's dad because apparently he works for Terravex, and his dad rats them out when he realizes that they have the being, and a big cat and mouse chase ensues from back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until Trip and Meredith realize they need to get the creature back to his family. And in the midst of that, the best way to do it is hide him within a makeshift truck that Trip has been working on, where it becomes a monster truck. And I have to preface this. The creature's been watching TV and sees a lot of monster truck stuff and wants to demolish anything that it comes in path with. Oh boy. Trip and Meredith eventually get the creature back to its family, and Terravex is found out for a lot of their bad behavior and bad company policies. They are shut down, and the creature goes back under the ground with its family to live happily ever after. I really wanted to give you more info on this one, but it's just, this movie really felt like E.T., but with trucks. And that's the best way to describe it, because at one point, the authorities are chasing Trip and a few other people that are driving around in trucks that are being manipulated by these creatures. And it feels very reminiscent of E.T. when the boys are flying through the sky in their bicycles, and I didn't want to say it's a ripoff, but it's pretty close. Speaking of quasi-ripoff moments, there is a scene where the creature does go out into a lake and swimming around, and Trip goes off onto a little bit of a skiff to just watch him swim around and everything like that. And it felt kind of like Free Willy in a way. And all I can think of going is, hold me like a river Jordan. Okay, enough of that. The cast in this movie, we have some younger talent and we have some legends. We have Lucas Till, we have Jane Levy, we have Danny Glover, and in this situation, I think he's getting a little too old for this shit. We also have Rob Lowe playing the oil tycoon company villain, and he does a pretty decent job of just being unbearable in this one. After all, Rob Lowe's played some pretty good villains. Look at Wayne's World. We also have Frank Whaley playing the dad of Trip. Those of you who may not recognize the name, he plays Brett in Pulp Fiction. I'm not really going to do the Sam Jackson moment. I really wish I could, but yeah. Anyways. The CGI for this film when it comes to the creatures looks pretty interesting even for 2016. They look kind of like quasi-Loch Ness monsters, so whenever I see them coming on screen, all I can think of is, I need a battery fitting. I am kind of treading over the things that I like and what I don't like about this film. Quite frankly, it is a good-hearted film, and I find that there are moments that are very charming and very entertaining, and honestly, there is a rewatchability in this one. And I'm going to make this short and sweet and say Monster Trucks, you know, you got a soft spot in my heart. You do. I will say that. And this is going to wrap it up for the review on Monster Trucks. If you've seen this movie and you agree with me, leave a thumbs up. And if not, I understand. Lately, I've been being a little bit overly critical on some of these films. And it's about time that I take a little step back and appreciate the little things. Especially when it comes to a feel-good movie. A lot of these movies have not been very feel-good. This one, it was. And lately, I've been needing that. So, I guess in a certain weird way, this one's for me. Apart from that, share on social media and hit that subscribe button, and we will hopefully see you next time on Worst State of Movies. I'm Wildman Wes, and I hope you find a little bit of soft spot for some of these rough movies down the line. Take care.